Laura, how you doing this morning?
Hey, Colin. I'm doing okay. Oh, shit, my computer's not plugged in. Hold on.
Good start.
Yeah, Ellie just went down for a nap, which is good. She was starting to get really hysterical, and I was, like, not 100% sure.
Take that baby down.
And then she conked the fuck out as soon as I put her down, and I was like, nice. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's a lot going on. How are you?
I have a bit of a breather this week, which is nice.
Nice. I have the opposite of a breather
Yeah,
this week.
no, you're... It's been a minute since I feel like we've had a full conversation in any form.
Yeah, true.
Not for lack of trying. Maybe for lack of trying. We've definitely both, like, sent each other turns in mini golf and said, maybe later. That has happened, but you told me some stuff that I'm pretty excited to hear about. So
so from in order of, I don't want to say importance, but maybe least impactful to most impactful.
Okay.
Ellie started eating solid foods in like a real way recently, which is very fun. She was not into it at all. And then we went to her 9-month appointment, and her doctor was like, you should really be offering her 3 meals a day. And I was like, all right, like, she doesn't eat anything when I offer it to her. And then, like, as soon as we got home, she just, like, needed to hear her pediatrician say it. And now she eats, like, no joke, like a solid cup to 2 cups of food every sitting. Like 3 times a day.
That's nuts. She's got like this snobby credentialist attitude where she looks at her dad and is like, you're a family doctor, not a pediatrician. I'm going to wait for a second opinion.
Yeah, she really did need a second opinion. And now she eats like a freaking maniac, and it's great.
Yankees.
It's super fun. She's like eating everything. She loves salmon. I didn't think anything was going to replace bananas because that was like the only thing she'd eat for a while. She likes salmon more than bananas right now.
I'm a grown-up.
It's crazy.
And I can't do salmon. I've tried, and people say it's like the mildest fish. Like your baby has like leaps and bounds just gone far beyond what I can muster.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. So she's great, and I love her so much. This week we have bandied about our date for recording many times. Yeah. And we landed on several days before we anticipated because partly this week last week Apple announced a couple new products that are coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So this week I worked Monday 8 to 5. Today I work 11:30 to 8:30. Wednesday and Thursday I work 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. And Friday I work 11:30 to 8:30 again.
It's just all so bad.
And
I hate all
I don't know
those
if I'm going to
shifts.
survive the week.
Yeah. I
Genuinely not sure about that.
I've been trying as hard as I can because I technically have 3 jobs. Not technically. I do 3 things on a scheduled basis, all of which I get paid for to some degree. I have 3 jobs.
So you have 3 jobs.
I have 3 jobs. I need to stop saying technically. But I work very hard to like keep them all in this specific bubble. And I'm just having flashbacks to by the way, Colin, you're going to be up till 5 tonight. And that's the choice we made for you. And I'm like, at will work sucks.
Yeah. And I'm trying to remind myself that like this is the job that I chose.
That
like,
was
I could do a different job.
That was honest. That it made it feel a lot better. What makes it feel worse now in hindsight is the fact that I've chosen something else. But like I was never really super mad about it. The only problem for me was like before I had a car, like how am I going to get home on the bus? But like it was fun. I legitimately enjoyed overnights.
Yeah, the work is really fun.
It's a really good time. It's laid back, but it's like you've got energy. It's just when you're like looking at your calendar and I'm like, this is the day that I'm not sleeping.
And 2 in a row is real bad.
Yeah.
And Ellie still wakes up at between 6 and 6:30 in the morning. Like that's not going to change.
Nope. Not at all. Yeah. She did not choose the job.
She did not choose the job. She may have chosen the mom. She did not choose the job.
Did she choose the mom?
I don't know. And then most impactful, which is why, so we were planning on recording on Friday on one of my breaks at work, because that would have been hilarious, because I would have been an empty shell. And that would have been fun to
physically and mentally.
Yeah. But instead, we might actually be closing on a house on Friday. So,
do you want to like and just for context here, Laura and I love doing this show and having these talks and sharing them. If you do want to engage with us about this stuff, reminder to do that on like our Instagram or something. I'll try to post more regularly. I keep saying that, but to facilitate real conversations. If you want to talk to us about this stuff, like that's how we're gonna do it. That said, to your comfort level, please share with me the drama, because I've heard some of the drama of this situation, and I get palpitations.
Everyone says that buying a house is like an absolute roller coaster, and I was like, yeah, like I'm sure that's true. And now I know that it's true, and I can't go back. It really has been a roller coaster. So we were looking, I think we started looking at houses in like, I don't know, January, something like that, like seriously. And we did the total thing. Like, I wanted to start getting more specific about the houses we were looking at. And Charles was like, oh, this is really helpful for me to see literally everything that comes on the market, like regardless of whether or not it looks like it's a piece of shit. And so like every day off, we were seeing houses, like even though we knew some of them we weren't going to want to buy anyway. Yeah. And I was like, this is exhausting. And so finally I got him to be like, okay, like we'll only go see houses if they actually fit like all of our criteria.
Sure.
Which, like, you know, obviously sometimes you never know. Like, sometimes you might say, like, well, I need to have X, and then you find a house that doesn't have X, and it's the house. But, like, you know, whatever. But, like, things like lot size and like, bedrooms. I was like, I'm not going to see a house that's 1,200 square feet with 4 bedrooms. Because, like, the bedrooms are going to be the size of my shoe. Like,
I think that's, growing up, we actually had a Habitat for Humanity house. So like when it was all just like wood, like 2x4s, just framing it, you could finally see the room. I sprinted out of the car, found the biggest room, and I said, "This one's mine." And my parents were like, "No, that's ours." And they said, "No, that's ours." And I went to the second biggest room, and I said, "This one's mine." And that was my room for like 12 years.
Nice.
And so I had the big room, but yeah, my brothers and sisters' rooms they were not big.
Yeah. And like, you know, we don't need a huge house. Like part of the reason we're moving is that this place is like awkwardly large for us, which sounds weird, but like it's also the layout, whatever. Anyway, so we finally started seeing houses that like fit our criteria. There was a couple that we really liked. There's one house that I think is still my favorite house, but it was in the wrong location.
Yeah.
And we saw it pretty early on. God, it was so beautiful. Anyway.
The look in your eyes there. You just had a straight up fantasy dream about this house.
A little bit. I just remembered the lawn. It was really beautiful. So we saw this house that's in a great location in our price range, like way lower. Because right now is like a serious seller's market. So everyone's buying houses and they're buying them for like way above asking price. And like some people aren't doing inspections. They're just like, just give me the house. Like, and then they run into all sorts of problems. We didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But this house was listed for like a good $100,000 less than everything else around it.
Ooh.
And we were like, I mean,
good start.
It looks good. It's in the price range. We were kind of going into it like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
It had just gone up on the market. We were like, something's got to be wrong because like they could sell this house for like $650,000 and they're listing it for $500,000. Like it was crazy. By the way, we're in New Jersey. Things are expensive. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you're like, it's only $500,000, and I'm just not.
I know it's only $500,000. It's fine.
Nodding along.
Just smile and nod. So we went into this seeing it. We were like, listen, if this house is not like fucked, we should probably put an offer in.
Yeah.
So we went and we saw it and it was super cute. Like it's a really nice little house. It's got 3 bedrooms. The upstairs, it's like a bungalow style house, and the second floor used to be the attic, but they raised the ceiling, or they raised the roof and made it into like a huge master bedroom that has a nursery on site. So, like, the bedroom and nursery are right there on the top floor with a bathroom and a closet, and that's, like, the whole second floor.
That's nice.
So, it's, like, a huge room. It's really beautiful. It's got, like, the most gigantic windows you've ever seen, like, super nice. The downstairs has a cute living room with a fireplace. Like, the kitchen was just redone. It's, like, small but fine. Yeah. And we were like, okay, like, this is actually a house that we could see. So, we were like, all right, like, we think we should probably put an offer in. And they were like, all right, great. The house has been on the market for 2 days. We are asking for highest and best offers in another 2 days. And that's it. Like, there was no bidding war. Like, you can't say, like, well, this person offered this. Are you willing to do more? Like, whatever. Like, it was just, we had to guess. We had to game the system and be like, what do we know that people are going to offer based on the market right now? And then how do we get just a little bit above that while still staying in like our comfortable price range.
See, this turns buying a house into something I can get with. It's a game. It's a straight. You got to figure out the meta.
You got to figure out the meta.
Yeah.
So we offered 11% over the asking price, and that was just like it. We're just like I don't know. We spent a long time talking about like the number and whether or not it was there, and then during this process, Charles and I have never done this before.
Mm-hmm.
And like maybe this is totally obvious. I don't know, but we didn't know this. You don't get a mortgage for what you offer. You get a mortgage for what the house is appraised at. And so they put the house on the market at $500,000 because it was appraised in November.
So that extra 50, 60 that you offered
comes right out of our pockets.
Ouchies.
Yeah. And so we had been intending to put down like, not a significant down payment because we don't have that much like money to just put towards it, but like we were planning on putting somewhere between, 10%, whatever it was.
Sure.
And they were like, fuck, like how are we supposed to put 10% plus like the extra? Because we offered $57,000 above the asking price. We were like, there's no way we can do that. So then we found out that we can get something that's a physician loan where you can put 0 down and then not pay PMI, which is like mortgage insurance, which is like not that expensive. It's a couple $100 a month. But we were like, okay, so we can get the no PMI, we can put 0 down, which means that we can afford to pay the extra because like we have been saving up to like intentionally, have a down payment. Yeah. So it wouldn't be the down payment, it would just be the difference of the house. And we were like, okay, like we can do this. So we put in our offer, and I don't know how, but we won it. We won the offer. We beat out 8 other people. And they said that it was super close, like between us and one person who had offered just a little bit more, a little bit less, but their down payment was significantly higher because, like, I guess when buyers or sellers are looking to choose a house, like the down payment plus the offer kind of indicates what financial stability they have, which is like kind of bullshit. Like,
yeah.
Charles and I are going to be able to afford a mortgage. Like, there's no question about that. It's just like we don't have $100,000 to put towards the house because he has $1 billion student loans, right?
Most people don't have $100,000 to put toward anything. So, like,
right. So, like, how does anyone?
How do you measure financial stability when nobody has it? That's the question.
Yeah, no idea. I'm still not sure. So they accepted our offer, which was crazy. And then, like, it was such a roller coaster because we were doing all of this while Charles and I were both at work. And so we were, like, texting back and forth, like, trying to figure everything out. So she was like, all right, you have to sign this document when you put in the offer. And so we did that, which, like, then turned out to be, like, the contract for the house, which, like, again, should have known that. Like, oh my
God.
Like, I didn't read it because, like, I mean, I obviously I read it. Like, I read it because I'm not going to sign something when I'm buying a house without reading it. But I did not, like, sit down and say, like, I'm going to take 45 minutes to, like, read every line of this. I just scanned it to make sure that it was,
seems
like,
super shitty of the real estate agent to say, like, hey, you don't have a lawyer present, read this, you got a half hour, boom, go, gun to your head. That seems so sketchy.
It wasn't, it in a way, yeah, it sounds really sketchy. It's just like the nature of what the market was right now. Like, if we wanted this house, we had to do it in a very short amount of time. Charles and I decided to put in the offer, so she had to gather all the materials, and then we only had half an hour, right? Like, it was partly us, and it was also partly her. So it was just a whole fucking thing. Anyway, it was fine. We didn't, like, sign away the rights to Eleanor or anything, which is really good because that would have been awkward.
That'd be a twist. Hey, can we get on the mic today and talk about how I sold my baby? Would
have been bad. So anyway, we went back and forth. Everything was fine, but it was, like, super stressful. And then we had the inspections done, and we got a chimney inspection because, like, it had a fireplace, so we wanted to make sure that we could use it. And it turns out that the chimney was, like, completely fucked, like, top to bottom. Like, they didn't have a cap on it, and so, like, there was a ton of water damage in the mortar, and, like, the damper inside, like, wasn't even attached to anything. When they tried to, like, close it, it just kind of, like, fell out.
I didn't even know that there were this many parts to a chimney. I thought it was just tall hole.
No, not tall hole. Okay. There's many things to a chimney, which, I mean, I think I do some of them, but not all of them.
Okay.
And the chimney has 2 flues because, like, the heating and air conditioning goes through the chimney also. Like, all of that releases through the chimney. So not every chimney does that, but ours does. So it has the fireplace flue, and it has the...
Wait, so, like, even if you don't have a fire, the fireplace could be a heater because the heat's connected to it? Or am I just hearing? Okay.
No, the heat is somewhere else, but they have all of the ductwork for the heat. Like, to release this, like, the steam and shit. I don't know, like, whatever heat makes, the hot stuff. It has to release somewhere, and so that goes out the chimney. And on top of everything else, because they had raised the roof, not the current owners, but the owners before or before them, we don't know when it happened. They raised the roof, but didn't raise the chimney. So the chimney wasn't tall enough, which is like a code violation. So you're supposed to have a chimney. There were so many. The inspector that we had was absolutely incredible. He was amazing. But he was like, oh, it's like the 7-Eleven rule, and this is the 2-10-4 rule, and like this is the thing. So I think that it was like anything that is within 4 feet of the chimney has to be 4 feet above anything that's 10 feet away from it. I don't know, whatever the fuck it is.
There is a rule.
There's something. And the chimney hadn't been raised, so it was too close to the new roof. Like it was, within 4 feet of the new roof, and it wasn't taller than it or whatever.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, this is insane. And then on top of everything else, so in all houses, but especially in New Jersey, there's a problem with radon, which is, some people think it's like a scam, but a lot of research has been done that it like can cause lung cancer, like pretty bad issue. And so you have to test for radon if you're buying a house.
Yeah.
And then if there's radon in the house, you have to put in a mitigation system, which is basically like a bunch of tubes and some fans, and it just pushes the radon out of the house. Sure. So our inspector was like, all right, I've been doing inspecting for a long time. My father-in-law was with me. He's been like doing houses and renovations and building for a long time. They were like, yeah, most of the time, if a house has a mitigation system, it has one tube that they basically drill really, really deep down into the, like, beyond the basement and the foundation. Everything goes really deep down into the ground. And then they're like, usually there's one. Occasionally we've seen 2, but like that's it. This house has 6 mitigation pipes drilled down into the foundation.
Why?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
How many noble gases? You got hanging out. Radon's a noble gas, right? It's on the...
Sounds like it.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll check the periodic table later.
I don't know, but we tried to find out, and so we tried to back out of the apartment or the house. On top of everything else, like the air conditioning compressor is 33 years old. Like there's no way it's gonna last the summer. The hot water heater is 13 years old, and apparently in this area, like an average lifespan is 10. So like there's all these things that are about to like absolutely shit the bed, and we were like, there's just too much. Like a lot of that stuff was not on the disclosure, and we wouldn't have offered that much if we knew that like all of the major appliances were about to just like go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Did you like drop your offer or something? Like what happened?
Well,
Ooh.
I will explain. We tried to just back out of the house. We were like,
Okay.
we don't even want to deal with this. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
The radon mitigation is super weird. Like, who the fuck knows what's going on? My father-in-law was like super worried about the resale value of the house. They were like, we're never going to be able to resell it because people were like, why are there 6 radon tubes? And I was like, I mean, like, if the radon level is okay, though, at least it's working, right? Like, so it was a whole thing. And then our lawyers were like, well, that's not actually enough. Like, the radon isn't enough to back out. Is there other stuff? And we were like, yeah, well, like, the chimney and the air conditioner and the hot water heater and all this stuff. And they were like, well, let's see what we can negotiate. And I was like, sure. So we're just going to tell them that they have to repair everything before we move in. Like, it's never going to happen, so this is going to fall through.
Yeah.
So we asked for that, and they were like, well, the air conditioner and the hot water heater are working, so we'll get you a 1-year home warranty, but we'll fix everything else.
That's not so bad.
And we were like, okay, didn't see that coming. And then that same day, this all happens while I'm at work. Mm-hmm. Like, none of this shit is happening when I'm home. So I'm at work, like checking my email like a crazy person, like randomly standing in the middle of hallways because I like see something. I just like stop walking and I'm like reading my phone.
Yeah.
So while this is all happening, of course, we have to go through the mortgage application and everything has to kind of move along at the same time. And they're like, you know, doing all these things. So we have to get the house appraised. And we were like, well, it's going to appraise for $500,000 because that's what it appraised for like a couple of months ago. And I get an email about the appraisal while I'm figuring out that like all this stuff needs to be done. We're trying to back out of the house. And I read it and it says that the total assessment value was $460,000. And I was like, so it's $40,000 less. Like we suddenly have to come up with like $97,000, which we cannot do.
Holy shit.
And my whole stomach, like everything in my body just like fell out of my asshole. Like it just all went.
Oh, no.
I was like, hey, you
Laura,
know that
pick
feeling
it
where
up.
everything just goes flat.
Oh, God.
And I panicked. Like I called Charles. He was at work. I was like, call me when, like, I need to talk to you, whatever. And I called my real estate agent and I was like, listen, Mary, like I'm at work. I'm doing a billion things, but it looks like it just appraised for 460. And I'm like freaking out right now. She was like, well, she was like, holy crap. Like she sounded incredulous. And
Yeah.
She's like, all right, well, like I will come up with a bunch of plans for negotiating because like that's a huge difference. Like we'll come down on our price. Like we'll blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, like write up the 3 options that we have. She's like, I got it. And then she read through it and sent me an email and she was like, that was the tax assessment. The house appraised for $550,000, which is $557,000, which is what we offered.
Oh,
so now
damn.
our mortgage covers the entire value of the house, so we don't have to spend that money. They're doing the repairs beforehand.
Oh my God.
And so everything like all of a sudden was coming together. So it's been absolutely insane.
That's a fucking roller coaster you just took me on.
Yeah, and then Charles finally called me. Thank God he didn't answer the first time. He was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Well, I had really bad news, and now I have really good news."
Oh, holy shit. Also, cursory Googling, radon is a noble gas. It's one of the lowest on that side. Radon is a radioactive gas that forms naturally when uranium, thorium, or radium, which are radioactive metals, break down in rock, soil, and groundwater. So, Jersey, What's up with the 6 mitigation tubes?
Yeah, we don't know. But the radon levels in our house, so over 4, you have to put in a mitigation system. Yeah. Like usually almost all houses have about 1.5 to 2, like 1.5 to 2 is the levels. Our reading came back as 0.8. So it's like
probably because all those tubes.
Yeah, it's working.
You got enough tubes.
It's insane, but it's working.
Yeah. I just didn't know that New Jersey was a particular hotbed for decaying radioactive metals. I guess I'm interested now.
I don't know, like I know that other places have it too. Like I know that New York has radon, but I just don't know. Like I don't know.
I've never thought about this before in my life. The presence of radioactive gases in domestic areas has never crossed my mind as a problem.
Yeah, fun fact, like your apartment complex should probably know what their radon levels are. And
probably.
Apparently it could change. So like you should always get it retested every couple of years. Anyway, I'm going to get something from Amazon that's just a battery powered radon detector that I'm just going to have in my basement at all times.
Cool.
Yeah. So that was a huge roller coaster. And so we were like, all right, I guess we're moving forward with this house. Like, here we go. And we've been trying to figure out like when our closing date is, but we had to like get insurance for the house before, but then you need a closing date for the insurance. And we're like, well, everyone thinks that we're trying to close on April 30th, but like, that's not going to happen. Like no one thought it was going to happen. Everyone I talked to was like, oh, that's like such a fast close, class close. Like it's never going to happen. Yeah. How many times did you say it's never going to happen?
As many times as you fail to save, to say fast close.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So we got all the rest of the information over the weekend, and I emailed the lender yesterday. I was like, hey, like I sent over those things, like what's the next step? And like didn't really hear back. And then all of a sudden at like, I don't know, 6 o'clock yesterday, like between 5 and 6 p.m., because I'd been texting my real estate agent a little bit. She was like, okay, like this is done. The title's there. That's there. The insurance is good. So like we're good to close on Thursday. And I was like, I'm going to be working 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. I'm going to close on Thursday. Like, what do you mean?
You don't understand. I chose this job.
Yeah, I chose this job. So then I went into like a panic where I was like, I'm not ready to like Charles has to cancel patients. Like I have to call out. Like what the hell is going to happen? So I called the lawyers yesterday, and like thank God everyone had stayed late. Like the lawyers and the lenders were both available at like 6:15, 6:30 last night.
Yeah.
And so I was like to the paralegal, I was like, listen, like we can't close Thursday. Not going to happen. I potentially could close on Friday, but we need to know like as soon as humanly possible because Charles needs to cancel his patients. Also, though, we don't need to move this week. Like, we don't need to close this week. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if the sellers need to, 100%, like, we can make it work on Thursday. But if this needs to happen, like, next week and we have a little bit more time to plan, like, that's okay with us. We're not in a rush.
Yeah.
We're in our apartment until June 15th or whatever. Like, we've got some time. And so she's like, okay, like, good to know. Like, I'll, ask them, figure it out. And then the lender called and he was like, hey, we're still waiting for this one thing, but blah, blah, blah. And so we, like, went over that. But, like, it looks like we might be closing on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to get home at earliest 2:30 in the morning. I won't be asleep until probably 3:30 because I have to shower and then it takes me a while to fall asleep. Eleanor's probably going to wake up at like 6:30. And then like, I don't know, I have to like go close on a house and then work the second half of my shift, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, no, that sounds like that sounds like a rough weekend. Imagine coming out the other side of this weekend, though. You're going to be like, I just had maybe the craziest 3 days of my life. Maybe not. But, like, it's fine. It's going to be fine. But just,
it's going to be fine.
But just like how, like, those shifts are fun to work, looking at your calendar and seeing what Friday holds for this week is just going to be like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And when it's done, you're going to be like, yeah, I did that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like you've been through the most challenging parts, knock on wood.
I hope so.
I mean, once you close, assuming everything is tenderized legal, not like meat, like legal stuff. Tended? I don't know.
Tendered?
Tendered. That's it. Not tenderized. I knew I was wrong, but
we're close.
I was close. I was close. I
had
would
a little more than you.
Yeah, I've been up for 4 hours already. It's which is nothing to you based on everything you just told me, but my fragile body is not used to it. Man, I mean, good luck. That was legitimately thrilling to hear how that concluded. I actually, like, my heart raised a little bit at certain points. My audio reactions are not forced, completely natural.
The time that when I got the assessment or the appraisal, and I thought that it was appraised under that, scary. I literally felt like I was going to have a heart
scary.
attack.
Only to find out that you really only have to make the down payment now. That's incredible. That's crazy.
And our down payment, because of our physician loan, we don't have to make a down payment, so we just have to pay closing costs.
Damn.
Yeah.
Everything's coming up, Laura. Look at that.
So, I mean, the good thing is that we'll have some time to, like, we want to replace the carpet upstairs and like do a little bit of whatever.
Yeah. Make it a home. All that stuff. That's nice. That's well, yeah, our lack of discourse over the past couple of months certainly makes more sense from your end now. I'll say that much. Because we also haven't recorded in like 2 months. So it's been
a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm very happy it's working out for you. That is crazy.
It just feels like, and like it's every day that I have off and every moment that I have off where it's like something house related. We did spend, Charles and I decided that I had the weekend off because I had to work such a shitty week this week. I was like, listen, just give me Sunday off. Like, at least I get 2 days in a row. Like, it'll be nice. And so I got home fairly late on Friday, and then Saturday, Ellie went to bed and we opened a bottle of wine. And we ordered ramen from a really good ramen place. And we watched Mortal Kombat. And it was a great date night. So we had a really nice weekend.
That's
great.
Like,
that was a little bit of recuperating. But
yeah, you need that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm going to need that again.
Yep. After this week, I imagine so. It's going to be a big, long nap. Like how on Sunday I texted you, like, hey, it's 12:30 and Rebecca's asleep. I checked she's alive, but something is going on. She stomped into my room at 1:30 just like, I just opened my eyes. I was like, oh, my God. So I imagine I might get a text from you like that in the next week or two. Like, I'm up. It's done. I slept.
I did it.
I hope so.
I have Maria's coming on Thursday morning. So I'll have to be awake for a couple hours with Ellie. But then as soon as she gets here, I'm just going to go sleep the rest of Thursday day so that I can make it through the overnight.
That sounds like it'll be lovely. Man, I
hope so.
I wish my stuff was quite as thrilling as that. It's not.
Do you though? It's very exhausting.
I mean, I don't know. So I think I've lamented that, like, the intensity of my schedule has been pretty stop-start lately with the bi-weekly nature of a lot of my, like, audio projects and my freelance work coming whenever it does. Basically, like, it's a project, but I don't know if I said this to you. There was a bit where the person who scheduled the recordings for something just wasn't there for a while, and nobody realized it. And then all at once, everything came in. And, like, even, like, this past week, for Dice Populi, we do, like, these live listens with our community sometimes. And I was preparing to sit it down, and I got a text a few minutes before that. Hey, can you get this done? And I was just like, sure, I'll take the extra money. Like, I probed to be like, well, how much am I doing here? And I was like, I can do it in the morning. And they're like, oh, nope, sorry, we need it tonight. Thanks, though. And I was like, I'll do it. So I was actively producing a television show while listening to something with my community. It's just like stuff like that. And then Saturday, nothing. I had absolutely nothing I needed to do. And it's just been that kind of vacillation. And it's a little spooky because, like, I'm pretty sure work on this season of the show will end about a year after I started. And right now, I have no guarantee or concrete sense that I will be able to continue this stuff after that. So I'm trying to figure out like what to do with my resume. Where else can I look? Are there other places, things at this studio I can work on? Because I have a couple people in this studio that like are looking out for me and want me to do stuff. But I mean, everything's weird as shit. They just added a bunch of people because, you know, work from home was a thing and they suddenly needed to add more roles. But now people are starting to return to offices. And let me tell you, with my day job, my boss wants to stay work from home. And if it stays that way, I will keep my day job.
Yeah.
If my day job asks me to go back into the office and does not give me a choice to say no, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
That is a decision. I am not doing it. I'm absolutely not. So, just in case my boss does not have full control of that situation, I also kind of should I should really start looking for just other jobs. So, it might all be super fine, but I'm seeing this hazy nebula of unemployment that I'm really not jiving with. So it might not come to anything like that, but I don't know. It might.
Yeah. Right. The possibility is there, and that's
yes.
That's scary.
So I just need to start really hunkering down and putting some effort into that. I baked in a little bit of break in some of my Dice Populi work, which has been a really it's such a fun thing to keep working on. I think it only keeps getting better, but I'm gonna need a break to work on some of my own stuff, which lately has meant playing an absurd amount of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but that's fine.
Hey, is that good? Charles was thinking about playing.
It's really good. It's really, really good. I don't know your history or his with Assassin's Creed. I've played all of the major Assassin's Creed games. Some of them are amazing. Some are kind of meh. They're all good, but some are just like eh. Yeah. The previous one, the one set in Greece, ancient Greece, Odyssey, was like a highlight for me. I adored that game and got so into it. Partly because it was the first time that Assassin's Creed had like branching dialogue options, and they felt really meaningful for making a character. Like not always as consequential as something like Mass Effect, but enough that like I felt I was making this character into my own. The interesting thing about Valhalla, one, it's gorgeous. I'm playing it 4K on an Xbox Series X. It is like a breathtakingly beautiful game. Like
I love that.
So like I can just sit and stare at it sometimes. It's so pretty. They learned a lot of lessons from Breath of the Wild in terms of how you structure open world engagement. It's not just like, hey, can you go get this thing for me? And I'm like, no, it's like the actual in-world things. The philosophy with Breath of the Wild is like, there's like, if you look out over a hilly landscape with a bunch of hills, there's something to do behind each hill. And it feels like they took that into account, and there aren't really side quests. There are just things you can find that you can do. And those little world events are technically side quests, but you don't get quest markers, you don't track it. It's just you can do it or not. And I think that the structure in Valhalla is something I wish I could like move into Odyssey, the Greece one, because I don't feel like the role-playing is as strong in Valhalla. Like every once in a while it'll give you a choice, like, do you kill this person or that person? But then my character goes off and makes a bunch of contradictory decisions that I have no say in. Like in one scene she was like, you're a crazy person and you can't commit me to these things. And literally 10 seconds later, she's like, all right, I'm going to go make a forgery for this document to lie to the king. And I'm like, quite a turn I had no part in. So Valhalla is great. It is fun. The RPG stuff is strong and the quest structure is great. Like exploring is fun. I wish that it had some of the strengths of Odyssey in terms of the character stuff. But if he's just looking for a game to play, pick it up. It's good. Nice. It's very good.
Yeah, he's currently kind of playing Fallout New Vegas.
Such a good fucking game. Yeah. New Vegas is so good.
He's been enjoying it, but early on, he like killed a bunch of bad guys or something. Like, I don't remember what happened. And now he's like, it fucking sucks because now I just have assassins after me all the time. And
the interesting thing about New Vegas is the loyalty system, where there are three factions, and if you piss off one, you raise your standing with another, something to that effect. So if he's constantly getting murked by this one group of people, he can try to err towards certain things until he can maybe even out some of that stuff. I don't know the specifics, but that sense of gray, where like there are still good guys and bad guys, just mechanically, but like if you do piss somebody off, there's like somewhere else to go. And that dynamism makes New Vegas such a really fun, cool game.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like he hasn't played that much of it yet, so I don't know if he's like gotten into that, but I'll tell him.
Yeah, no, tell him to start paying attention to what each faction thinks of him. I don't remember I haven't played it in like 10 years, but New Vegas is a fucking top tier game. I love that game so much.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's fun.
Yeah. Otherwise, I've been working out 60 minutes a day every day for about 2 months now. And I've lost 18 pounds and can see muscles. So that's cool.
Wow.
Yesterday I was doing like a hip bridge thing, and I like looked straight down and I'm like, "Wait, I'm not seeing my belly. I'm seeing my pecs. I didn't know this happened in real life. I thought this was just movies." So it feels good. Today I woke up with back pain. Even though I got a new mattress, I had a pillow under me, or I did something stupid in my sleep. Yeah. And it just wrecked me, so I woke up early, and I was just like, fuck it, and I just did a bunch of yoga this morning.
Nice.
So I'm feeling better.
Yeah, but I haven't done yoga in a long time, and I miss it. My whole body is just like, fuck you.
Apple Fitness Plus has made it very easy to structure workouts for me because I don't like going to the gym. I don't really like exercising, so I can sort of take it. It's getting easier because I do it. Apparently, that's how that works.
Yeah, 60 minutes a day every day is a lot of exercise for someone who doesn't like exercise.
Yeah, I also don't like getting fatter. I hit 215, and now I'm down to like 197, 198.
Yeah.
And I still had Chipotle twice this weekend, and I'm still going down. So, I count that as a win. But like, yeah, it has been like a big mental adjustment for me. I think I was trying to set weight goals, but I really don't know what a goal weight would be. I'm thinking below 190-ish would be good and then try to maintain around there. But I think the goal that is really going to stick for me is I'm going to keep doing this until I don't have love handles anymore. No love handles. Once those are gone, then I think I'll be fine. Because I'm not trying to get ripped over here. I'm just trying to, handle stairs better.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's a good goal.
Yep. So we'll see. What else has happened? Had to put my cat down. That was sad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Very sad about that. But now Odo is coming up and laying on me a lot more, and I'm wondering how much of that was just because poop dominated so much of my space. So silver linings there. He's come up and lay on me a few times, and it's just like the best, even though he's gigantic. I
feel like it's almost better if he's bigger, he gets a lot more like snuggled contact.
It does, but he's so easily scared by everything, which is wild because like I'll have the loudest video game on and I will be screaming at the game and he will not wake up or blink. He will be snoring on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And then I go to scratch my butt and he's like out the room. And I don't get it. I don't get what sets him up. It's like an Inception, how it's like only this one specific thing will wake you up. And I'm like, who did that to him? I don't know. What else? I got my first vaccine dose. I'll be fully vaxxed in 2 weeks. Yeah, about 2 weeks or so. I'll get my last shot. It's Moderna, not Pfizer. So don't call me janky for it. But
is Moderna jankier?
No, Moderna is like exactly the same as Pfizer. Yeah. I think the only difference is it's 4 weeks between shots instead of 3.
Yeah.
But I originally was scheduled for a Pfizer, and then my doctor was like, hey, you can come get vaccinated today. And I was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to be fully vaccinated sooner than if I stuck with Pfizer.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Is that going to change your interaction with the world?
That's kind of the joke I've been making is I can't wait to get vaccinated so I can stay inside. I mean, like, it's going to be nice to not just worry about going out to do things when I need to. There's a rock gym down the road that I might try to go to now that I have muscles for once because I've never had them before. It was just a series of gremlins pulling tissue paper, and that's what made my arms flap. So now that I have some muscles of some sort, that and biking are like the two kinds of exercise that I have enjoyed. Like I can run now. I made a deal about this last year. I don't like to run. It's not fun. It makes me sad. So rock climbing does not make me sad. It did make me sad when I went and I had no muscles. That sucked. So maybe better this time. What else? Still been practicing that Beethoven piece, not as regularly as I should. It's really hard, but it's fun. My Silmarillion thing. My goal for April was to do writing. And if I'm ever going to like sell screenplays, I need to have a bunch of different shit. And I have a bunch of ideas. But at the end of the day, I just sat down and started redoing my Silmarillion movie. And I like it a lot better. But pretty soon I'm going to have to start writing some other stuff if I ever actually want to move this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot has changed for me in the last 2 months. But really, it's just all these little things.
I mean, a lot of little things add up, though.
They do. And I feel better. Nervous about the cloud of what's going to happen in the summer, but we will see. Because I think in July is both when my company wants to move people into the offices and when my work on this TV show will end. So we'll see. I did just put a bunch of money into savings, which is nice. So I'll be like, no matter what happens, I will be set for a while.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
But yeah, I don't know. Oh, I need to buy a new computer. I think I might. Let me add to your list of things to do on Friday. You could hook.
Please don't make it Friday.
Well, that's likelihood. Your insight. Likelihood of Apple TV, of the new Apple TV, selling out immediately.
Based on almost nothing at all, I can't imagine it's going to sell out right away.
I kind of don't think so either. Apple TVs hardly sell out, but I don't know how the chip shortage is hitting Apple because they're not talking about that. But the new iMac is very pretty, but I was hoping it would be more than just the Mac Mini with a screen. Yeah, and it's not.
It is real pretty, though.
It's very pretty, but I'm not looking for pretty so much as I am something affordable, functional, and versatile, and it is just the opposite of that. I really like it. A lot of people are complaining that the new iMac still has a chin. I think it's fine. The chin on it, like the area under the screen, where it does not bother me at all. I don't know why it bothers a lot of people, but what bothers me is the white bezels around the display.
People talked about that at work a lot.
I don't understand that for a second. Like, I know the colors on these computers are bright, but like, have you ever used the iPads with white bezels on them?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, that's for a reason. It's because it sucks. It's very bad. It's because even in the Apple stores, back when it was all iPad 2s and half of them were white and half of them were black, every single in-store used device was the black ones. When the space gray came out, it was all space gray. It's because and I don't know why it took so long for people to start putting dark mode on things. I've been screaming about this since I was a kid.
Dark mode is my favorite thing in the universe.
Having black backgrounds, bezels, borders, everything makes it easier to focus. It is less distracting. It is all around a design decision that elevates what is in your line of sight, what you need to be working on. It's why when you look at entertainment centers, people aren't designing giant, bright, curvy things unless you're the PlayStation 5 and you're an idiot. That thing is hideous and gigantic. My Xbox Series X is gigantic compared to my other Xbox. Guess what? I don't fucking see it.
Yeah.
It's black. It just fades away. It's not screaming for my attention. So I
have a kid and they'll scream for your attention.
Then
you'll really know.
Big reason why I'm not having kids right now. They're the white bezels of people. I don't get it. But the new iMac is pretty. That new iPad Pro, I want it, but I have to wait to see, because it has the same processor as the Macs now. I have to wait to see what iOS 15 is going to do. Because if iPadOS 15, actually brings some Mac functionality to it, or Mac apps to it, slam dunk. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean,
Now that they're using...
I would imagine it would, right? because the M1 chip, the whole point of... Or not the whole point, but a lot of the benefit of the M1 is that you can do multiple... You can do iPad or OS and iOS
Yes.
I'm so fucking tired.
Yeah. No, I can feel it. I'm probably going to take a nap at some point this morning. So we'll see.
I'm not, because I'm going to literally go get ready for work and leave in about half an hour. So.
Yeah. Man, I'm hoping that eventually Apple has a stay-at-home gig that just lets you chill for a sec.
Yeah.
Like, I fall into the productivity trap a lot that I've mocked a lot of my friends for. Just like, take a second to breathe. And then I'm over here literally doing 3 jobs at the exact same time. So, like, why am I talking? But I'm hoping you get that breath. Because ever since you've gotten married, which is right when we started having these chats, ever since you've gotten married, like, you and Charles were together for a long time. And then you got engaged, and then you got married, and then you had a kid. Like, you're doing everything we're buying a house. Yeah. Like, you are just flooring it through.
We're making up for the fact that we were together for like 8 years before any of this happened.
But like, he was in meds, like he was doing stuff.
Yeah.
You were doing stuff. It wasn't wasted time.
No, and that's why I wasn't rushing into getting engaged or married with him, because I knew that it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, you guys just really hit the gas on it. I don't know how, like, people are like, yeah, we started searching for a house in January and we close in 3 days. Like, you just like, yeah, Charles and I like got pregnant like immediately. Like, how are you just something about getting married just like power leveled your XP? You really just blew the curve in terms of how quickly people get shit done.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because, like, there was no guarantee that we were going to get pregnant so quickly, right? Like, we knew we wanted to start trying, and I just, like, assumed that it was going to take a long time, and it did not.
No, not even a little bit.
But that's funny that you say that, because part of the reason the current owners of the house have a daughter who's about Eleanor's age, actually. Mm-hmm. I don't think she can be much older. We've got a lot of the same, like, toys and things. Mm-hmm. And apparently they had a really hard time conceiving. And so they were like, well, we want a second. And like, it took us so long that like we should try now. And then immediately got pregnant. And they're like, oh my God, we're not ready for this. So she's 6 months pregnant. And that's why I think that's part of the reason why they're like, just get the fuck out.
Yep.
Which is how I felt a year ago when I was 6 months pregnant and we had to get out of our old apartment.
Yep.
So I get it.
Wowza.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't even, I still marvel at what it takes to raise children. I see Rebecca's kids and I say dumb things to them and then like that's it. So my commitment is so low that when I see like how much you have to structure your life around this, I'm just like, you are a stronger, smarter, more capable person than I am. Congratulations. I don't know how you do it.
I don't think that being a parent inherently makes that true.
I mean, yeah. Are you really smarter if you had a kid in the first place? So it's just.
I will take the compliment.
Yeah,
and you know what? Like it's a lot, but I just like, you know, in the middle of the stress and we were worried about all these things, like all of a sudden Ellie's like rolling over and like doing a pyramid stand, and like it makes literally everything better.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's like it's just, I don't know. She's just great.
Trying really hard not to say I have the same feelings about my cats because, you know, that's not the same thing.
It's not the same, but
I see you trying. I see you trying to prop me up and say, no, Colin, it's okay, but also it's not the same thing.
I have a lot of friends who have animals, and they're like, I know it's not the same thing, but and like. It is different because the change is going to be different, right? Like she's not going to stay this, like she will grow and evolve and like turn into an adult. And like, so that part is different and that part we'll see. But like, it's a lot like having a puppy. You know what I mean? Like this, you know?
Yeah. In Scrubs, they described it as having a dog that learns to talk.
Yeah.
And then the character was like, that sounds awesome. But I mean, like, I will never be able to, like, watch my cat grow up and make a really funny tweet. When one day, Ellie might do that. She might go viral in a way that my cat, despite eating a Cheeto yesterday, did not. Just took it. It's so wild. Took it straight out of the bag, and then just ate the whole thing. And I offered him another one. And he's like, nah, and then just, like, ran away. I tried, like, 4 times to give him another Cheeto so I could record it. Really wanted exactly one.
Just only one Cheeto.
Only one
That's
Cheeto.
really all you need.
Yeah. The little one, though, I mean, I don't have a baby, but I do, in the mornings, they're hungry because they eat all their food when it's nighttime, and then I go give them more food in the morning. The little one will fucking camp next to me, crouched up, and as soon as I blink a little bit, lick the crap out of my hand. Just nonstop, licking my whole hand. And if I smack her or actually physically put her somewhere else, as soon as I move again, she's up there just like screaming, meowing. She will also just run around the apartment screaming for attention. She will sit in the open area and just meow. And Rebecca's like, why is she doing this? I need to work. I can't. The cat is screaming. And so it's not the same. I will never say that it's the same. But
it's
I feel like
similar than
I'm getting more of the same effects than I expected based on some of our conversations. But at the end of the day, if your baby screams, you can't just smack it in the face and push it off the bed.
That's true. That is, in fact, the opposite of what you should do.
Eventually, perhaps, when it's larger, more capable of taking tumbles.
No.
I mean,
Still
significantly. No. There's going to be a size limit. It will eventually get big enough where that's the answer. I just don't know how big that. I'm not saying like 3. I'm saying like 12.
No, Colin.
If a 12-year-old comes up and tries to wake me up by like tapping my hand, I'm going to push them away from me. No question.
Don't have kids yet.
I earned my sleep. They've gotten 12 years of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that news, I do have to get going because Maria's
Yes.
going to be here any moment, and I have to pee really badly, actually.
Yep. No, I am eager to go to the bathroom, which is not a great way to end a podcast, I don't think. But
but both of us are like, bye, guys. We
Yep.
got to go.
Gotta go. No, it's been really nice
has.
finding the time to do this. I know it's tough, so thank you for doing
Yeah.
that. Again, anybody, I know that we just dropped a lot of stuff. If anyone listening does ever want to like chat How's Pod on Instagram, just comments on that. I'm going to try to start posting stuff with every episode, maybe every week. It's just hard to focus on it when we can hardly ever even like play mini golf.
Sometimes I feed myself. It's really great.
Yeah, sometimes I feed myself. Hey, Laura, how you doing? I ate. That's today.
I succeeded.
I now own 6 radon tubes.
I do, apparently. Well, actually, I haven't signed the paperwork yet, but on Friday, maybe.
Let me know when you get those radon tubes. I might have a guy for that.
All right, Colin, it was really good to talk to you. I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. Good luck with the everything.
Thanks. You too. Let me know how it goes with the job.
Yeah.
Zzz.
Yeah. Cool.
That's how I feel.
Yup. All right. All right. You have a good one.
You too.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Maybe.
How You Doing is a Common Geeking Program production. Starring Laura Becker and Colin Ketchen, with editing and original music by Colin. You can see and hear more at the website PodFriend.pizza, or follow HousePod on Instagram for a real-life look at their friendship. If you enjoy the show, spread the love. Tell a friend, share your favorite episodes, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Colin and Laura will talk to you again on the first Monday of every month. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.